Hi everyone, today we are going to edit the digital weekly planner. So yesterday I released the 2021 versions of the weekly planner, and because I said it wasn't going to release until August 17th for the digital version for Goodnotes for the iPad, but like I said, my computer's way faster. I'm still getting used to it. It's done. So I didn't see any reason to wait or show you how to edit it later if you purchased it and want to start working on it right now. So we are going to do that today. Like I say all the time with all of my templates or my planners or anything, you have three options. One is you have the PDF you can sell as is, like right out of the box. I've removed all of the branding. I know in years past I used to put my branding on there, and that was really not so that you couldn't have your own branding, but just as a placeholder to show you where to put your own branding. But a lot of times people didn't know how to do the edits. And so a lot of things are out there in the world with my branding, and maybe you didn't want that. So I've removed all of that. And then the other thing too is if you are thinking, I don't want to use Adobe InDesign because 100% the only way to edit these templates natively is in Adobe InDesign. There's no other application that will kind of do it for you. It has to be Adobe InDesign. And if you don't want to learn it or to purchase it because it is a monthly subscription, I would suggest just doing what I did in the beginning, which is print out all the pages, take out a pen, just mark up all the changes you want, put little indicators, like if you want an image, label that image number 1, and then your JPEG, send them the JPEG that says image1.jpg, and then image number 2, and just write it in the document. Send it off to somebody on Fiverr or Upwork or anybody else who is an InDesign person. They will make those changes for you for relatively inexpensively, is that a word? And then you have all of your changes done for you. The third option is I know a lot of you love Canva. And if you love Canva, I give you JPEGs of all the images, and then you can go and edit those somewhere else. Now, the only exception is this digital planner. Now that I said that, is this digital planner because it has clickable tabs. And so when you go, the nice thing about the digital planner is when you go into Goodnotes or really any application, Procreate or Paper 53 or anything else, if you use your finger, it doesn't even have to be the Apple Pen or anything, and you click any of those anywhere on that document, it is going to jump to that page. So I'm going to show you how it does that, because this document as well, the digital planner, can also be used on your desktop in theory. It doesn't have to be on your, let me find the file. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a iPad or a tablet. So you can use it anywhere. And I know that you cannot see anything because I haven't shared anything with you. Hold on, let me share my screen. Where are we? Share screen 1. There we go. All right, should be seeing like a weird picture in picture. If we go over here to 6,400. You don't need to see it at 6,400. Let's try 50%. There we go. So here's the weekly planner. So I chose this pink cover. Remember, I created 5 new covers, so you can mix and match them however you want. But inside of here, if I click on May, it will jump to May. If I click on October, it's going to jump to October. If I click back to May, to March, to February, to September, to December. So that's the nice thing about the digital planners, is that they have clickable tabs, and that way if people want to use them on a device, that they can just click around on it pretty easily without having to swipe through every single page like you normally would with a download printable, or if you just sold them the PDF. So because of that, you cannot, even though I said you could, the third option for Canva isn't going to work, because you won't be able to save it with the clickable links unless you use Adobe InDesign. Unless you know of another way to save it. I do not. I use Adobe InDesign for everything. So that is pretty much it. Now, I always sell these. Someone did send me a question. Her name is Corey. So Corey asked if the social media pack that helps sell this comes with any of the digital planners. So a couple of things. The social media graphics pack only comes with the planner kits, right? Like the Etsy Kickstarter is the only dated planner that has a social media kit associated with it. The wedding planner, the fitness planner, what else is there? The budget planner, we just did the Christian planner, the social media planner, all of those have social media graphics with them, but only for the main product, which is the planner kit. The digital planners is just kind of an add-on that I only offer usually if you buy the original product, because otherwise it's not meant to be sold separately, if that makes sense, because it doesn't have the font information. It does not have any of the social media information or anything else to help you sell it, which is fine if that's what you want. So usually during launch week, I will sell it separately. Now I do have other templates, which are these, like the weekly, the annual, the monthly, and these are just templates only, and they're less expensive because they're just meant to be mix and match, right? So you're not necessarily, I'm not giving you a whole solution. I'm just selling you different layouts that you can, use and edit and do whatever you want with. And so this weekly, if you wanted to purchase this standalone, the weekly digital planner, you only get one layout, even though the original weekly template has 5. The digital always only has one layout. So I picked what I thought was the prettiest layout, and it's this one. I think it's number 1 within the 1 through 5 that you get in the weekly. And so if you want to, for this week only, you can purchase this standalone only until Friday. So I left a discount code below. It is weekly 50, and that's good through the rest of this week. So I'm going to show you how to edit this if you want to go ahead and edit it on your own in Adobe InDesign. I also want to address, there was another comment from Devora. She had a question, which is a very valid question. So if you've never chosen any of my designs before, I kind of eyeball where I place things. So they're not an exact science, like an exact grid. And that's just my style, and it goes pretty quick. So she had a good point where these are not symmetrically perfect. So if you were to take a ruler and measure from the edge of this over to this line, and then up here from the edge of this to this line, it's not perfect. I eyeball things, so it's like, it's about the same. So if that's important to you, definitely don't buy my templates, just because that's not my style. I think that, not that I couldn't do that, but I've created these templates over the years, and it's just faster to make the templates without that. And honestly, I think they're so minuscule that I don't think that they matter. Same thing with these coils here. So I kind of eyeball where to put them. If you were to measure each of these coils from the top of here to the top of the page, it would probably be off by 1 millimeter or 0.5 millimeter, because I'm eyeballing it. So I just want to make sure that I'm totally transparent on that. I'm not trying to tell you that everything is military precision correct. I eyeball things to make sure that they are as close as possible. But Devora is totally right. They are not exactly the same on each page. So that's pretty much true for 100% of all of my designs, no matter what they are. Even the social media graphics are not perfectly symmetrical, wherever I guess a social media graphic could be perfectly symmetrical. So that's kind of it. All right, so I have Adobe InDesign open, and someone mentioned the other day that it was hard to see. So let me try to make this as big as possible, because it is a big screen. It's one of that 32-inch XDR. The reason I have to share the whole screen and not just the app is because the way Crowdcast works, or most applications work, is this InDesign menu at the top is hidden. And I've done that before, where I just show InDesign as an application, and then you can't see the menu, which is pretty much pointless for watching an InDesign tutorial. But when you get this file, if you open up the INDD file, which is the latest version. Now, I do give you the older IDML file. I don't actually know if the clickable tabs work. I think they do. But again, it's an older version, so I'm not really sure. But I do know for sure it works on the newest version. You're going to see here all these fonts that are missing. Honestly, I don't think you need all these fonts. Let's go through each of these. So it looks like Rage is missing. I think there was I don't even know where I used Rage. I see this every time I open this application. Rage is a free font that you can download, so you don't even have to pay for it. Sleep Lesson, the rest of these are all premium fonts except for Railway, which is free to download. But someone had mentioned, what was it? So all these fonts, you'll notice that this file opens just fine and works perfectly. And I think the reason I'm getting all of these error messages, and you might too, even if you have these fonts, is because when I switched over from the old laptop to this new computer, for whatever reason, I don't know if the fonts renamed themselves or they were just in the system differently, but I for sure have all these fonts. I don't know why it's doing that. So I hate saying this, but you can pretty much ignore this error message. Your file is going to work just fine. Over here, someone asked, because Railway, if you look everywhere, Railway is pretty much only available as a TTF font, which stands for True Type font, versus an OTF, which is an Open Type font. Now, when you actually physically see it, there's not a lot of difference. It has something to do with the anti-aliasing of the font and how it displays on the screen. So don't get too caught up on that. There is a place to get the OTF version of Railway. I will add that. I'll make sure to add that to the comments below, and it is free. But if you have TTF versus the OTF of Railway, don't get too worried about it. I don't see a big, I physically cannot see a difference between the two. So I'm going to say skip, and this file is going to work just fine. All right, so over here, let me try to make this bigger. There we go. Now it's all full screen. I don't think I can make these side panels bigger. I wish I could for you. But over here, you're going to make sure you have Windows selected, and then you're going to make sure you have Pages. There's a check mark in front of Pages, and then you'll be able to see this menu over here to the right. Now, this menu is always very important. I teach this lesson every time I have a digital planner. And so hopefully, maybe just by watching this, you're going to be really familiar and comfortable with digital planners. But the master pages are above this imaginary line right here that I can kind of move that line up and down here at the top. And at the bottom are the actual pages of the real planner. Now, here at the top, you're going to see that Home over here has, let me try to move this, has everything that you need, but it has blank pages. And there's no coils. The coils actually go onto the coils, like I'm talking about right here. The silver coil actually goes onto the page, not onto the master page, because it has to lay on top of everything in case you want to make any edits. Over here, what I've done is I've created white pages only for you in case you want to add your own tabs here instead of using the ones that I provided, or you would like to do something totally different with this page. Or you can do, I also gave you a master page called background only, and it is literally the background only. So in case you want to do an advertisement would be a great thing here, or maybe you want to add an about section, or remember it's a clickable interactive planner. So you can put URL links in here to your website, to your social media, to really anything that you would like to advertise. So I just left this blank in case you just wanted the background, but wanted to do something different. Now, over here, hopefully this makes sense. It's all logical. 1 is January. 2 is February. 3 is March. And so you'll see I've moved those tabs from right to left because that's logically, in theory, when you open up a planner, that's what happens. It moves from right to left. So you'll notice that you see these dotted lines over here. That's because these are all hyperlinks. So that's how the clickable tabs work inside of the PDF once you're done. So if you delete these or edit these in any way, you can edit the text and nothing will happen. Like we could call this 08 instead of August. We can call this 09. The tabs will still click to the right sections. If you delete this just entirely, your clickable tab will no longer work. I can't emphasize this enough because I know a couple of people were changing some of these things. If you're not sure, you're not familiar, send me a note on something that you want to change if you need help, or maybe just don't change it at all if you need to get it out the door right away. And it's a Sunday and I probably won't answer my email till Monday or Tuesday. So just to be safe, make sure you only change the text on these, but don't actually delete the physical. Like if I hit delete, if you delete that physical text box, the hyperlink is not on this image. The hyperlink was part of that text. So I'm just going to do Control Z and go back. So that's where all the magic, in theory, happens on the back end. All right, so let's go into here. You'll notice the cover page, any page, if you're not sure which master page has been applied, you can see if you hover over it, it says 01 January applied. That's telling you which master page has been applied to this. If I drop down here to 4.2, I can see April, 04 April has been applied because, let me double click, we are now inside of April. So anytime you want to check and see which master page has been applied, you can check down here. Now, you'll notice when you open the document, I purposely did this, you have all these like peach, orangish, it depends on your color of your screen, boxes open. All of these boxes are just a way for Adobe InDesign to save memory. So if you go over to here to view and you select overprint preview, all of those boxes disappear. Because I get a lot of people asking me, and I did this too when I first started using it. I was like, what is with these orange boxes? I can't stand them. I don't want them to print out. They aren't going to print out. It's just a way for Adobe InDesign to save memory by just not, I guess, showing you the whole image. I'm not sure how it works. But over here are guides. I like having these guides inside of here. If you don't like seeing these guides, you can actually, if the selection tool is selected, you can hit the W key and they will just magically disappear. So if you're like, I don't want any guides, I don't want any of that weird stuff in the background, that's how you go ahead and get rid of it. All right, so let's talk about changing this document. I'm imagining maybe you want to change the colors. Maybe you're thinking, you know what, I don't want all this like pink, blue, and purple. When I actually open the document, I just want it to be pink. That's like my thing, just pink. So over here where it says December 28th, we could go here to the type tool at the top and change this to pink. And then over here, this box over here, same thing. You can change this one over here. Can I change it? I had this problem last time. All right, I know it's happening. Here's this spreadsheet was actually very difficult to make because there are boxes on top of boxes. So what you want to do sometimes is get things out of the way. So if I move this over here, now I can get to that Monday box and I can see that it has a blue background. I can change it to pink. Then I can move this back over on top right where it used to be. Once I go down here to Wednesday, that one, it looks like it's on top, so I can select it. So I can change this to a pink. And this text, same thing. I can highlight this text and I can change this to a pink. And over here, this Thursday, so you can see I'm having trouble selecting that Thursday. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just move this text box, or that, it's not a text box, just a big box out of the way and highlight Thursday. And then I'm going to change this to pink. And I'm having trouble highlighting that text as well. So I'm going to move this again. And then I'm going to select this and make it pink. So I had that same problem yesterday when I was trying to update the original printable templates for you. And it's just a matter of moving things around. Objects are on top of other objects. So this is now all pink. So that's how you change it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Can I do that really quickly with just like a magical click of the button? You cannot. And the reason you can't is because I didn't really set up the document that way with the master pages. You are welcome to go ahead and go back and do that yourself. But instead, if you want to, you'll just have to manually go through this. And again, this might be a great task to outsource to someone on Fiverr or Upwork. All right, so that's kind of how you change the colors and you change the text. And again, right there when you're inside of there, if I wanted to change any of this text, to say a different font, you can do that up here at the top as well. See, I have Cabrito, I don't, even though it told me I didn't have that. So I wouldn't run out and buy a bunch of fonts just to match it up exactly. Honestly, I don't know why Adobe InDesign does that. I created this probably not even that last laptop. I think it was like 3 laptops ago or something. So who knows how the fonts had been named on that particular laptop. All right, so we changed text, we changed colors. There are no images inside of here. The only image that you really have inside of here in that links folder is this front cover. And all the way here at the very end, you're going to have this back cover over here. So you don't worry. Oh, and these spirals. I gave you all these spirals. So don't worry too much about images. It's not like the other planners, like the budget planner, or would we just do the social media planner that has images? There's really nothing to buy. Everything has been included. The other thing that you might want to change, other than text and colors, is you might want to add pages. So maybe you bought the monthly planner and you want to add monthly pages, or you just want to add something that says put down your goals for the month, or put down your projects or important meetings or something else that people have, or a notes page. If you want to do that, let's say we want to put something before page 1, you'd go to page 1 inside of that pages panel. You'd right click on it and you'd say insert pages. It'll bring up this dialog box, and we'll say we want to insert one page, and we want to do it before page 1.1, and we want it to use the master page January because I want the tabs to look exactly the same. So I'm going to say okay. And then you'll see we have page 0.2. That's actually wrong. We really want this to be in section 1. So we're going to move this over here because we want 1 to be applied. Oh, whoops. Yeah, we want 1 to be applied. There we go. So now we have the January tabs in here. So I can put, let's say, I'll just do really quick. Goals, really small. All right, so here's my goals page, right? Obviously, I'll make it prettier, but I really want this page to go after. So I'm just going to drag it and put it over there, and now it's after it. So now this is my first page. Oh, it keeps doing that. It goes over here. So we really want the first page. I've never done the first page, so let's try this again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm just going to copy everything on this page. I'm going to delete it. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to paste it onto this page. And then I'm going to take my goals box. And I'm just going to put it on that other page. And I'll explain why in a minute I did that. Okay, so it must be easier to add pages after the fact versus before. So the reason I did that is because section 1.1, this hyperlink for January is always going to go to 1.1. So I probably want it to go to my goals page first, not to this other page, right? Otherwise, it's going to miss all of the goals for January. If you add pages afterwards, it's much easier. So if we go to the very last page of January, which is 1.6, if I say insert pages and I insert 4 pages and I'll say after page 1.6 using that master page January, it's going to add 4 pages for me, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, 1.10, which all stays within that sort of numbering and sectioning convention. So section 1 always corresponds to January. Section 2 always corresponds to February. Section 3 always corresponds to March, and that's a manual thing that I set up inside of there. So anytime you add pages, make sure they're within that right section. If you add pages beforehand, you saw what I had to do to kind of like jerry rig it around so it stays within there, and that 1.1 is now the goals page. So that's all you have to do to add pages. If you want to delete pages, so let's say we've changed our mind about this, all you have to do is take that page and drag it down to the trash can. Do you want to delete this? Yes, I want to delete it. We're done. So that's pretty much it. Oh, look at that. It renamed everything. Okay, so if you do need to, if that happens to you, you can go over here to numbering in sections, start page numbering at 1 and just put 1.0, 1.0, say okay. And it will reinstate all those pages back to the correct numbering convention for you. All right, let's see, what else do we need to do? I think that's pretty much it. These dated planners are much more straightforward than the other planners that I have. The only thing is, let's say you want to stick a picture in here. I don't know what picture you could stick. Oh, look, we have Chelsea's picture that we just used for the other live stream. So let's say I want to put, oh, maybe I don't want to put her picture there in that box. Let's say I want to put Chelsea's picture. Just like in a regular planner, I'm just going to make it the background for whatever reason. and making it the background. So the only problem with this is now Chelsea's picture is on top of the coils. So it doesn't look as real as it did before, right? So that whole fake look is gone. So all I have to do is select this coil, right click on it, and say arrange, bring to front. And now it looks more realistic that the coil is in front of the photo. So that's the reason the coils are always on the page and not part of the master page in case you need to add something. Whatever you do, doesn't matter. Just make sure the very last step you do is to click that coil and then right click it, arrange, and say bring to front. So there's no bring to front because it's already in the front. So that's it. Now, in order for those tabs to work, this is really important. You can save your file, you can package your file, it doesn't matter. You need to go to File and then go to Export. And then when you export it, it's going to let you pick a folder to put it in. So you'll notice whenever I have digital planner files, I always have a folder just called Interactive PDF, because whether you select Interactive PDF or regular PDF, nobody knows just from looking at the file extension. They both say .pdf. So you have to put it somewhere special or change the name up here to say the interactive PDF or something so that you know which file it is. And then for format, make sure you choose Adobe PDF Interactive. The print one will not have the clickable tab. So if you send somebody a PDF that has not been exported specifically as an interactive, it will not work. When you package your files, so I always tell people when they save their files so that they can access it later or send it to someone, do file package, because then it will take this image, it will take all your fonts, everything else. Make sure that package will create a PDF. That PDF is not clickable. Again, that PDF it creates in the file package is not clickable. The only way to get a clickable PDF is to do File, Export, and then once you're there, make sure you choose the format Adobe PDF Interactive and make sure you know which file it is, because it's not any different from the PDF that is not interactive. All right, I hope that was helpful in getting you to do some editing. And again, everything is on sale. Well, this is on sale for 50% off. The regular weekly templates that there are 5 of, those are on sale this week as well. That price goes up to $67 on Saturday morning, as does the Ultimate Planner Bundle as well. Elise, when will the digital products launch? Probably not till September when I'm back. I do have a video that will go up tomorrow because I know I'm bombarding you guys with videos. I had one yesterday, 2 lives today. But there's a video Wednesday, there's a video Thursday, and then I'm on hiatus for the rest of the month so I can get some writing done. And then I'll be back in September. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody have any other questions? Oh, you too. Rob, could I change the shapes of the tabs without losing formatting? No. So the way that the digital planners are set up is that the tabs cannot be changed. Those are actual JPEG images. So the files are not set up with changeable tabs. Like the tabs cannot be changed in any way. Letitia, is there a way to change the color on a section of one page for all pages that are similar, or do we have to change the color on every page? Yeah, you have to change the color on every page. Rob, do you show how to make the new pages movable? Do I show how to make the new pages movable? I don't know if I understand your question, but the new pages that we created over here in 1.6, to move them, you can just drag and drop them. So if I want to move a page to a new section, I can move it over here to after 2.3. And now there's that blank page over here. I think that's what you mean. I do have a whole section on how to move pages. Rob, can I make a new JPEG to substitute them? A new JPEG to substitute. Yeah, you can definitely make a new JPEG to substitute them. So if you want to use different tabs, so let's go over here to the master pages. So this master page, watch, I'm going to select it. There's only one object on here. So if you go to Window and you go to Links, you'll see, well, first of all, this page has a lot of different things on it. But you'll see that this is just the January, 01-January. So if I do this, if I take this and I hit the delete button, that whole thing goes away. The only thing left here is text. These text items over here are white. So that's the only thing that is left. I know you can't see them because they're it's white on white. But if I were to change this text to blue, you're going to see that that says May. You have January through December down here. So the links are still in there. You'd have to create a whole new JPEG to put inside of there to replace that if you wanted to change the shape of the tabs. So Rob, we can see it. We see you. Hello. Only you are showing. Oh, only I am showing. Yeah. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so as I was saying before, if I want to move a page, as Rob had asked, if I go over here to pages, remember, make sure you go to window, go to pages, and then if I scroll, if I move this over here, you're going to see that little white line, and then you know it's going to move the page down here. So now if I double click this, now I can see my blank page over here. So as I was saying, when you go into January, let me undo all this. There we go. So if I go into January, up here at the master pages, and I select it, this only has one object on it, right? So if I go to, oops. So if I select this, you can see it's now selected. I hit the delete key, it's all gone. So you can go ahead and take that and replace this with a whole new JPEG, whatever JPEG you want. All of the text is still there. That's what I was trying to show you. So if I change that text to blue, and if I change this text to blue or to pink, all the text, January, February, March, it's all inside of there. Just change everything so you can see it. So everything's inside of there already. You just have to create the background then that has the text and has the white pages and everything. The other thing you could do too is I gave you the white pages only. So you could actually add tabs here, but then you have to add all those links as well, again, if that's what you want to do. So hopefully that was helpful now that I was actually sharing the screen. Sorry about that. So that is everything. As you start getting into it too, like doing more with the templates and editing them, if you have any questions, just drop me a note and I am more than happy to help. All right, guys, I know I did a lot of lives this like last 2 weeks, so thanks for showing up if you're able to or watching it after the fact. Hopefully all these lives are helpful. The whole reason I do these are so that you know how to edit them. I don't want anything to be like a mystery or something I'm trying to hide from you. You know, anything you want to know on how to edit or move things around, I am more than happy to show to you. So if you have questions too, I'm famous for just creating tutorials and just emailing those to you as well. All right, guys, I hope everyone has a great rest of their Tuesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, there's a video tomorrow on digital products, my top 10, and it has a download with it. It has 2 bonus digital products. I mean, there's a million types of digital products, but I was trying to narrow it down to what I think are going to be things that people actually want to buy right now, right? So there's a bunch of things you could make, but if no one's going to buy them, I don't know that it's really a good use of your time. The other thing too is on Thursday, I just have kind of a goodbye video, and it's more just talking about social media, because if you follow me on social, which I don't think a lot of you do, I left Instagram and I left Facebook and I left Twitter. I'm so much happier. So I talked about my decision on leaving and also the criteria in case you were thinking maybe you want to leave social media too, because it does take up a lot of time. All right, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys later. Oh, Rob, my question is, what planners sell the best? I would like to buy the best group. I don't know. All planners sell the best. The best selling planners are dated planners, to be honest. The rest of them are very niche. So like, for example, the Christian planner, if you maybe don't have a Christian planning audience, or you are somebody who drops F-bombs all the time in your branding and your messaging, Christian planners on your website probably won't sell well, because people will be like, why are you selling Christian planners? So just something to think about when you go into some of those niche areas, versus a dated planner. Pretty much always just, everyone loves a dated planner, whether it's physical, it's a printable, or it's a digital. So I hope that helps. Rob, thank you so much. Just found you yesterday. Awesome. All right, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow.